My name is Emily Carter, and I never imagined that a single year could change everything I believed about family, kindness, and the power of forgiveness. I'm 35 years old, living in Portland, Oregon, and these are the real events that turned my ordinary life into something I'll never forget. It all began one chilly February morning. I was driving to work, juggling coffee, my purse, and the usual Monday chaos. My phone buzzed, a number I didn't recognize. I ignored it, but when it rang again, something told me to answer. "Is this Emily Carter?" a calm voice asked. "Yes, who's speaking?" I replied, half distracted. "This is Officer Daniels from the Portland Police Department. Your father was involved in a minor car accident. He's okay, but we need you to come down." My heart stopped. My dad, Harold Carter, was a retired firefighter in my rock. I raced to the hospital, expecting to see him smiling as always. But when I walked into the room, something changed inside me. He looked smaller, older, fragile. That day began my journey through fear, family tension, and self-discovery. Dad's injuries weren't serious, but the doctor mentioned early signs of dementia. The word alone shattered me. I was an only child, and suddenly I felt like the parent. I took a leave from my job as a high school counselor to care for him. The first few weeks were full of awkward moments, him forgetting names, misplacing things, and sometimes confusing me for my late mother, Margaret. Each mistake hurt, but I reminded myself that love was stronger than memory. One afternoon, as I helped him sort through old photo albums, a faded envelope slipped out. On the front, in my mom's handwriting, it said, "For Emily, when you're ready." My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a letter and an old photograph of a woman I didn't recognize. The letter read, "Greater than, my dear Emily. If you're reading this, I'm gone. There's something I never told you. When you were 3, we adopted you from a young woman named Grace. She wanted you to have the life she couldn't give. We loved you more than anything, and I hope one day you understand that love makes a family, not blood." I sat in silence for hours. Adopted. My world tilted. I stared at Dad, who was napping peacefully, unaware that my heart was breaking all over again. When I confronted him gently later that evening, tears filled his eyes. "Your mother wanted to tell you when you turned 18, but she passed before she could. I thought protecting you meant keeping it secret. For days, I couldn't eat or sleep. I felt betrayed, lost, and confused about my identity. Yet deep down, I knew my parents' love had always been real. Still, I needed answers. Using the name in the letter, Grace Thompson, I started searching online. After weeks of dead ends, I finally found a small town address in Bend, Oregon. I wrote her a letter, unsure if she'd even remember me. A month later, a reply arrived. "Greater than, dear Emily. I've waited 35 years for this letter. Yes, I'm Grace. I never stopped thinking about you. I was 19, scared, and alone. I couldn't raise you the way you deserved. But I prayed every day that you were safe and loved. If you'd like to meet, I'd be honored." Tears streamed down my face. After so many emotional turns, I decided to meet her. When I finally arrived in Bend, I saw a modest house surrounded by pine trees. Grace stood on the porch, her hands trembling as she waved. She looked just like me, same brown eyes, same smile. We didn't need words. The moment she hugged me, years of pain melted away. We spent hours talking. She showed me old journals, photographs, and letters she never sent. I learned that she had gone through tremendous hardship, abandonment, poverty, and heartbreak, but she never forgot the child she gave away. It wasn't an easy reunion. There were moments of silence, tears, and awkward laughter. But as days passed, something inside me began to heal. Grace wasn't perfect, but neither was I. We were two women who had finally found missing pieces of each other. When I returned home, I told my dad everything. He listened quietly, then said, "Your mother and I would have wanted this. She'd be proud of you for seeking truth, not anger." Months went by, and Dad's dementia worsened. Some days, he didn't remember me at all. But on his birthday, he looked right into my eyes and whispered, "You made peace, didn't you? I can see it in your face." That night, I cried harder than I ever had. Because yes, I had made peace. With my parents, my past, and myself. When Dad passed away peacefully the following spring, Grace came to the funeral. She stood beside me, holding my hand like she'd never let go again. Today, I still live in Portland. I've returned to counseling, and I share my story with students who struggle with identity and family issues. Life is unpredictable, but it's also full of grace, love, and second chances. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this: truth might hurt, but it also heals. The people who shape us aren't always the ones who share our DNA, they're the ones who never stop showing up, even when it's hard. And that's how these true events changed my life forever.